Chapter 8 is on prepositions. Some commonly used prepositions, and I won't read all of these to you, but look at those. They're all probably pretty familiar to you, especially those two-letter words like by, of, on, and to, and for as prepositions. But be sure you study this chart. It's in your book so that you know exactly what they're referring to when they talk about prepositions. Prepositional phrases, which is where most prepositions reside, so that's where you're going to see them the most. They're also have the object of a preposition is a noun or a pronoun. Some examples would be in the garden, in being the preposition and garden being the noun or pronoun, or out the back door, out being the preposition and back door being, or door being the object of the noun or pronoun. The objective case usually follows prepositions. Use objective case pronouns me, us, you, him, her, it, and them as objects of prepositions. An example would be everyone except Leslie and her arrived early. And so we used her in that case. Just between you and me, sales are increasing. The prepositional phrase is you and me, and so we used you and we used me in there as objects of the preposition. Typical problems with prepositions. One of them is using of for have. Do not substitute the preposition of for the verb have. For example, they should have walked to the restaurant, not of. They should have walked to the restaurant. You've probably heard people say that. The difference is between professional speaking and writing. It should be they should have. We could have, not of, received free tickets. We would have, not of, attended the concert if we had known about it. And you'll see more examples in the book. Using off for from, do not replace the preposition from with the words off or of. For example, Christine borrowed the pen from Brandon. She did not borrow it off of Brandon. She borrowed it from Brandon. And the third one is using to, to, for too. We notice these kinds of mistakes even more today because of our immediacy, fast communication tools such as email, social media, and those kinds of things. So we see these kinds of errors fairly often. Do not use the preposition to in place of the adverb too. The difference in the two is that to means in a direction forward, so you're going to somewhere, and too means additionally, also, or excessively. So an example for to would be give the cash receipts to the courier. You're moving in a forward direction. Sales reps receive tablets and smartphones to. If you can replace also with the word to, then you know it should be too. The car was too small to carry the equipment. The car was too small to carry the equipment. Among and between are also words that are commonly misinterpreted. Among used to speak of three or more persons or things, and between is used to speak of two. So profits will be divided among the 9 partners. Anytime you're talking about 3 or more, it should be the word among. Between is used when you're talking about 2. For instance, responsibility will be divided between the vice president and the general manager, because there are 2 there, the vice president and the general manager. Beside and besides, Beside means next to. Besides with an S means in addition to. Examples would be, you have another option besides this one. In other words, in addition to. The carpool parking lot is beside the office, which means next to. Except, the preposition means but or excluding. Accept with an A is a verb, means to receive. All pages except 3 must be edited, would be EXCEPT, because it means excluding. We will accept applications for the position online, means ACCEPT, because it means you're going to receive them. In indicates a position or location. He is interested in underwater photography. The event took place in the New World Trade Center in New York City, so it indicates a position or location. Whereas into, with one word, means 3 things: entering something, changing form, or making contact. An example would be, entering into something, she plans to go into accounting. Again, it's one word. We will move into our new building soon, which is one word. Or an example of changing form is, he is turning into a talented musician. The caterpillar changed into a butterfly. Making contact, I just ran into an old high school friend. There's also into that is 2 words. The adverb in preceding an infinitive or a prepositional phrase. She went in to see the doctor. She didn't go in to see the doctor. She went in to see the doctor. Please turn the report in to your boss on time. To your boss is a prepositional phrase, and in is before it, so that is 2 words. Mostly in this one, you're learning the difference between into as a 1 word and into as 2 words. Like, the preposition like should be used to introduce nouns or pronouns. Do not use like to introduce clauses. For example, my friend looks a lot like Natalie Portman. Introduced a noun there. I wish I could sing like him. Again, used to introduce nouns. I feel as if, not like, I don't have enough time to complete the project. So that one is an example of when not to use like. He looks as though he didn't get enough sleep last night. He looks like he didn't get enough sleep last night is incorrect, because we don't want to use it to introduce clauses. Unnecessary prepositions. This one is very important. Omit unnecessary prepositions. Here's one example on the screen. I'm not sure when the meeting is scheduled for. It's the same thing as saying, I'm not sure when the meeting is scheduled, period. You should avoid, and that's probably the next slide, you should avoid ending a sentence in a preposition. Sometimes you have to, but in this case, it's redundant. It's not needed. The delivery was left outside of the door. Where would you like to meet at? All you need is, where would you like to meet? Did that earthquake this morning wake you up? Did that earthquake this morning wake you? Question mark. And as I just mentioned, informal writing, and sometimes you can't help it, but in most cases you can, careful writers do avoid ending sentences with prepositions. Idiomatic use of prepositions. Idioms are word combinations that are unique to a specific language. You will see some of these examples in the textbook. Combinations have developed over time through usage and sometimes cannot be explained, just like in some things we just can't explain, so we have to memorize or learn them by heart or be familiar with them, which it tells you next, to learn to use specific prepositions with particular words. So study those idiomatic use of prepositions, the ones that they give you in the book. That will be very helpful to you. And finally, go to the chapter in the ebook, study the specific examples, look for details. I hope this video has been helpful to get you started with prepositions, but of course it's just a quick overview, so I hope that you enjoy getting to learn more about this. End of the video.